Please welcome Akon.
Actually, the lighting project is a one of a kind project. We feel like in Africa, electricity is very needed, and ultimately it started as me going into these rural areas and villages trying to do concerts, but there was no electricity. So that kind of spilled off into understanding what the development of Africa would be and how important it is for the future of Africa. But ultimately, without electricity, you can't begin to build infrastructure. So to avoid a lot of the politics within the energy business in Africa, we decided to go solar, which we felt was the perfect solution for Africa's energy crisis, being that we're blessed with so much sun. And that's one of the main resources. And ultimately, for the rural areas, it would be a lot cheaper and quicker to create a solution, being that we wouldn't have to extend the grid from the city all the way out to the end of the villages. But we realized too at the same time that the educational system here for energy was very poor, and a lot of African citizens wasn't really educated to the energy crisis itself. So we decided to create more of an academy for all the solar, for every project in every country that we go into, we always hire the locals there to maintain, and we also hire them to do the installations. So we created an academy that would train all the locals there to be able to install and be able to maintain all the equipment as we develop and move it forward for each country as it goes. So that's the whole idea of the Solar Academy. Well, with Red One, of course, he's like my brother. When I first signed Lady Gaga, he was one of the first producers that I signed out of Africa. And we always knew that he would be huge. And being the fact that he was from Morocco, and Morocco at that time didn't have an A-list producer, it ultimately allowed us and also motivated us to make sure that with his talent that he gets to the place where he needed to be. But he's just the most talented producer that I know ever. And to this day, he's grown off to become one of the biggest producers in Africa, and ultimately now he's in a position where he can do things outside of just music. He can involve himself politically and utilize that talent to bigger things. I built my career off helping others build their careers, so I always was in a position where I feel like I'm going to be blessed either way, because I always want to give people the opportunity that I personally never had. And Red has such a good heart, and he's my brother from day one, always been the same guy, never turned, never changed. And I wish him well in a lot of things that he does in the future as well too. And I think there will be a lot more things that you'll hear from him. But to answer your question, we do have more collaborations together, me and Red. And he's actually on the new album that I'm about to release as well. So we've done some collaboration on his new album as well. Actually, it's probably the craziest thing, but the truest. And I'm not just saying this because I'm in Morocco, but that probably was the wildest crowd I've ever been in front of. To this day, we always talk about that show. So we've been, like my whole band, everyone's excited about tonight. Like you had no idea. We was always saying, everywhere we go, we always compared it to Morocco, because you gotta understand, 9 years ago, that was like the beginning of my career from an artist performing standpoint. So to be in front of such a huge crowd and such a crazy crowd, it always wanted me, it motivated me to always want to be in such a crowd like that. The only place that came close to Morocco was probably Bahrain. You guys are like brothers and sisters, the crazy, wild crowd. But I think tonight's gonna probably be crazier. I believe it. Because we had a lot of time to build, we have more hit records now, and there's a lot of history that's been built. And ultimately, I think it's going to be sick. I can't wait.